FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Courtney.
This is the Indu Podcast. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. We're recording live from the south side of Wakanda in the little new Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive. I still have that written down, so I figured I'd use it again.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yes. One day I will commit that to memory, and then I will keep using it. And because Wakanda forever. So,
Wakanda
with that.
forever.
Yes, well done. Got
Thank
Wakandan accent and everything.
I try. It wasn't my best work, but it was okay.
It was spur of the moment. It was good. We it was a fly. I want to say this is an unorthodox episode, but most of these episodes are unorthodox. So there's not really a common thread to a lot of the things that we do here, except for the intros and some of the segments. And yeah. But while we're talking about Wakanda, I do want to give a quick shout out to Abby, who I know has been behind on episodes, but I was threatening to take her honorary black card because she had not seen Black Panther. So
Are you officially giving it back to her now, or what?
Well, it was you know how they put you on notice for something being canceled, like say your car insurance, like if you don't pay it within this week, or you're on notice for being canceled. Yeah. So her honorary black card was on notice for being canceled if she did not watch Black Panther within the weekend. Luckily for her, I didn't go to work Monday and Tuesday, so I did not see her to confirm, but I did send her a text message on Saturday, which she didn't read until Sunday. But Monday night, she watched the movie. I saw her today at work on Wednesday, and she greeted me with the Wakandan salute. So
she's officially back now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she's back.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
I don't know, man.
I know, and I told her, I threatened her. I said, I will talk to Black Twitter about this just to confirm your cancellation. And she's like, no, please give me more time. And she kept giving me, I'm going to put this in quote, reasons, which I translated as excuses.
Terrible excuses, whatever they were.
Well, yeah, she gave me like the rundown of her week and why she would not be able to do so within the week. And it's like, I can't do it until Saturday night, and then, or maybe Sunday evening or something. But Monday night it's happened because her daughter, I guess, decided like Monday night is movie night. So like, okay, well, at least you got it watched. And she says she may watch it again tonight because they rented it and they have some time left on the rental. And I think her husband is upset because he didn't get to watch it yet. And he's the real one.
The real one.
Yeah, because and okay, let me back up a little bit. Abby is Puerto Rican, but she married a black man, so she likes to say that she has a black card because of that, but also because of how I think some other things that happened. We have a long history, so that's kind of why this whole black card and honorary black card is happening. But but she's a great friend of the show. She's listened to many episodes, but as life happens, sometimes you kind of fall off. So I don't know where she left off, but we give her shout outs from time to time.
That's all I got to say about it.
But kudos and Wakanda forever to Abby, who has now been initiated, I suppose. So she's good. But yeah, I've been away from work. I've been away from Twitter for a few days, and that hiatus was nice. It was good.
Good. What'd you do on your hiatus?
It's funny you asked because there was a lot that happened in the few days. Saturday. Well, first of all, happy anniversary to my church, Grace and Mercy Family Ministries. We celebrated 13 years over the weekend.
Nice.
So within that weekend, I was trying to, throughout the week, complete this anniversary video where I had, for the last few months, conducted interviews with several of the congregation members, just asking them like how they found the church, what they love about it, and just kind of make a little mini documentary. And I didn't want to wait until the last minute, but as life would have it, I pretty much had to put it together in the last few hours, actually. But I succeeded. I finished early Sunday morning, just hours before I had to show it to the congregation. And it went really well. I almost brought my dad to tears. So that was a compliment in itself.
Nice.
That's what I try to do. But the thing is, nobody really knew what I was working on. They just knew that I had some kind of video presentation, and a lot of them forgot about the whole interview that I conducted with them. It's like, oh, that's why you're asking us these weird questions. So that came out pretty well, and I was pretty excited about that. The night before we went bowling, I've bowled better games, but we all had fun. That was the point. I did some Netflixing a little bit. Watched actually some documentaries, and one of which was about the maple syrup heist in Quebec, Canada. Yeah.
That's an actual, first of all, that's an actual thing. And there's also a documentary about it.
Yes. There's actually a documentary series called Dirty Money. And this is episode number 4, I think. Yeah. So, and that's what it was called. That's kind of what caught my attention. Like, okay, heist. That's clue number 1, because anytime heist is involved, I'm kind of there. But yeah, in Canada, if you didn't know, maple syrup is a very big deal. So if you come in with some counterfeit syrup or syrup that's not even made from real maple trees, then you're like, what are you doing? Just get out. So what happened is I learned a lot. So they have a maple syrup federation, I think it's called. But basically there are people or groups or companies that make maple syrup, but they're all together. Some people want to call it like a kind of a mafia kind of deal. Like you're either with us or you're against us, but it's all regulated. And if you are an outsider, you can't charge certain rates, or it's almost like you can't sell within Quebec. I think you have to go to another, I think it's Providence. They use Providences there. So you can't sell within that region. You have to, I don't know. And it messes with people with their livelihood, because they want to charge certain rates, I think, if I'm understanding correctly. Say all that to say that they have a reserve of syrup, giant tins, or not even tins, but barrels of syrup, like how we would have reserves of oil. They have syrup.
Wow.
What happened is not even someone, but a group of people back in 2012, actually no, 2011, they stole millions and millions of dollars worth of syrup and replaced them with buckets of or barrels of water. And they didn't realize that this was happening until they did inspections, and they realized that some of the barrels were sweating, which doesn't happen if it's filled with syrup.
Right.
So they started looking in the containers, finding that there was all water, and then they had to start going backtracking and looking to find out who stole the syrup and where it went. And and there is a black market for maple syrup.
Really?
Yes. It's incredible. So
that seems a bit much. Yeah.
It does. And that was one of the things, and even in the beginning of this particular episode, they're like, this is about maple syrup. It's that serious, how there are drug cartels here in the States. In Canada, it's syrup. So, yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty serious, but I do recommend watching it, because it is very interesting. And I think I'll actually go through the rest of the series. There's only 6 episodes. I started the one because I was curious. I wanted to see what the episode about Trump was, and they actually gave a pretty detailed history and why he is not as successful as people seem to think that he is, and he's not. So
interesting.
Yeah, so that was a good primer, even though it was episode 6. I'm kind of working my way backwards through this series. So each time it says, "You want to play the next episode?" I'm like, "No, I actually don't. I want to play the one before it." So, yeah.
Why is there a what's up with that? Why are you doing that?
I think it's based on my interests. Like, I started with the last one because I was curious about Trump, and then I think I might have skipped the next one, but then I went to the maple syrup heist because I'm like, yeah, let's give it a whirl. Let's see what this is about. And then I decided to watch the one about drugs, or basically pharmaceutical drugs, medicine, and how the whole price gouging thing happened, and that was pretty interesting. So there's 3 episodes left. One has to do with a bank that's been kind of tied to a Mexican drug cartel. Another one, I think the one I just started was the one about Volkswagen lying about having clean diesel, and they've been lying about it for years. And I forgot what the last one is, but yeah, I'm kind of working my way around and not watching them in any particular order, which I probably should be doing. But hey, whatever. It's Netflix, so I do what I want. So with that, I want to make a quick, interesting it's interesting to me, segue to IHOP. Are you familiar with what's been going on with them?
Sterling, I just
sigh.
Don't understand. I don't like it. It's the stupidest thing I've heard this year. One of the stupidest thing I should say. And I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
I do. But
I'm not
so
very happy.
tell us about it. Like, just walk us from the beginning if you can.
Well, I don't know too much about it because like you have not been super active on Twitter lately. But it's the most, you have a brand who has been known for their breakfast foods. And of course they, can offer different foods and things because sure, you gotta make your money, you gotta appeal to everybody. And if you serve breakfast all day, like, people are not like you, Sterling. They don't love breakfast foods as much as we do. And so sometimes they want a burger or a steak. I don't understand it either, but I get it. So you have to serve other types of food, to appeal to everybody. But to actually change your name, I don't know how long they've been in business, but to actually change your name from International House of Pancakes, which is amazing, to International House of Burgers? What? I don't understand. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I just, I don't, Sterling, I don't get it.
I don't either. And this is like the campaign that they ran for like leading up to this. Like a few weeks ago, they're like, we're changing our name, and they would advertise the IHOP logo.
I didn't even know that, with a B, right?
Yeah, they flipped the P so it was a B. I'm like, okay, what is it going to be? And people were guessing on Twitter, is it going to be burrito, or is it going to be?
That.
Yeah, and a lot of us just settled in as like, okay, they're changing their name to International House of Breakfast, which makes a lot of sense. That
would make a whole lot of sense.
And if that was the reveal, we're like, okay, cool, whatever, International House of Breakfast, because that's what you do. You specialize in pancakes, but you also have eggs. You have wow, I'm trying to think about like French toast. And I mean, that's what they've been experimenting with. Other kinds of like French toast and stuff. French toast and crepes.
Crepes.
Do they have grits? I don't think they don't. I can't remember.
I've never seen grits there.
Okay. Well, hash browns, which I used to not eat, but it's actually become a pretty decent filler for me because they're weird hash browns. I don't know why they're weird to me, but they're just weird. Anyway, they do all this, but they're all breakfast foods. But for them to just decide, like, you know what, we're going to be International House of Burgers. And like, really? I mean, that's not really a main thing. Like, nobody's thinking of burgers when they think of IHOP.
No. And honestly, I've never had a burger there, so I can't really speak to that. But because I don't go there for burgers. If I want to go for burgers, I will go to literally anywhere else. I'm not going to get a burger from IHOP. Because it's International House of Pancakes.
Right. I'm going there for pancakes. Well, I've been going there for like waffles or French toast, but still, I'm not going there for burgers. I don't think of burgers when I think of IHOP, and I don't want to think of burgers when I go to IHOP.
No, I just feel like they didn't include their patrons in their decision making. Like, why did they decide to, and I missed all of the campaign, so I just happened to hop on Twitter the other day and saw the change, and I was like, wait, IHOP? Okay, what's this all about? They got a brand change. Brands do this every now and then. They, to freshen things up. And I saw it and I was like, wait a second. This doesn't, no, I don't like it. And so sure enough, I kept looking and I was like, no, they're not serious, right? Like, do they want to be known for burgers? Because they're literally the only place that's known for 24/7 breakfast foods. Why would you want to scrap that and throw it in the garbage? And I still haven't gotten an answer for that. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I do.
I don't know.
60 years, by the way. That's how long they've been
60.
around.
Okay. And now they want to change it. Way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Lapin family, they're probably not approved of this. I don't know if they're still in business, but they're the ones that started it. But some of the other burger brands have been trolling them on Twitter, which I don't have the tweet in front of me, but it was hilarious. I saw that Whataburger decided to change their name to What a Pancake, or they're saying that they're not going to do that. I think like they would never do that. But Burger King, however, decided to change their name to Pancake King.
I forget what Wendy's had to say about this whole ordeal, but they said something too.
I'm
mad I can't remember it, but they said something too, and it was brilliant.
It was. I mean, and again, I think this is probably one of those tweets that somebody said that Twitter is free, and they can't believe that it's free because of gems like this. And like,
exactly.
I came back to Twitter at a great time.
Yes, me too. It's beautiful.
It truly is like, oh, this is what Twitter is for. But yeah, that is something, and I feel like IHOP was so proud of themselves that like it's like, oh, guess what we're gonna do, and I can just see them shimmying like Shaq does before it turns into the to the cat. But yeah, you guess what this is gonna be, because I remember when as soon as they debuted it, and not debuted what the B stands for, but just trying to get people excited about what it could be. And oh, what a letdown. I think somebody even suggested burrito, and they're like, well, close. And then yeah, just all around. So yeah, that had happened. This is, I don't know what the opposite of a shout out is. Maybe it's a shun. Would that be the opposite of a shout out?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I want to shun someone who I know isn't listening, and I'm not really going to tell them to listen, but someone who is an authority figure at a place of somewhere that I work. I have multiple jobs, so I'm not going to signify which one, but I had a day off, and this person of authority, and I didn't get to tell you about this.
Well, I saw it on Twitter, I think. So yeah, I saw it on one of our Twitter somewhere. So I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, and they happened to call me, and because I saw the number come up on my phone, I'm just walking into the Home Depot because I need to buy some screws for my license plate, which has been kind of flapping in the wind and or ready to fall off. It's a totally different story, but I'm like, you know what? Today's the day. I'm getting things done. Let me find these screws. Yet I kind of went in not really knowing what screws I needed to get. Anyway, I'm in Home Depot, and then I get a call. I'm like, why is this guy calling me? Or girl, or lady, woman. Why is this person calling me?
Got it.
Right. So I decide to answer like, let's see what this goes. And it's like, yeah, are you in such and such a place? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And like, oh, because we need this thing. Like, yeah, but I have today off. And like, oh my God, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I guess I'll have to call this other person then. I'm like, yeah, I guess you will. And I'm like, okay, well, you have a good day. And I'm like, yeah, you too. So yeah, I mean, it felt good just a little bit, just to stick it to the man or woman that, just like
Uh-huh. Or
just
person or thing
uh,
or
yes,
they.
yes. The establishment, I had
Uh-huh.
to stick it to them a little bit. It's like, yeah, you completely forgot that I had this day off, so why are you bothering me? Kind of thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it was secretly hoping that they were going to call to say, hey, I know you're enjoying, your day from not being here. Do you want to have another one? Or it's something like that. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
I was just really curious what it was that they wanted to talk about. And sure enough, it was just something not good. So I
Mm.
had to let them know.
That stinks. Yeah.
It does. Not that it ruined my day. I was just surprised. I'm like, wait until I get back to my place of establishment and tell these people, which I forgot to do today, but that's okay. I've got tomorrow.
Right.
So yeah, that was also something that happened during my little hiatus away from work. I never asked you how are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. I can't complain. I
Hmm.
you know, I don't my life is not lately at least hasn't been nearly as exciting as yours.
It's all in how
So,
you tell the story. That's how
and
that's
I
how
guess
how
so. I don't have any good stories to tell. It's just work and home and work these days
Mhm.
and family. But yeah, I'm currently in the middle of a large editing project that was begun. I shot an event. It was a pretty big event. It was a 40th um, pastor's anniversary a few weeks ago, and it's not like me have to not have edited and like finished this close this project out, but I have not done that. So I'm
Mm.
in the middle of a big editing project, and it's lots and lots and lots of pictures.
Oh boy.
So I'm just in the middle of doing that, and I'm trying to finish that up so that I'm going to San Diego next week for work. So I'm trying to finish all that stuff. That's like my final deadline. So I'm trying to do all that before then. And I'm also writing my book, my novel again. So yeah, not much outside of my own brain these days. So there's that. Not much to tell.
So
So
you'll
that's
have
something, but
story. It is something. Maybe you'll have
yeah,
stories later for us, like
sure.
San Diego and book writing. Um,
Yeah.
so the stories are coming. They'll be there. That's for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
Which that reminded me of something which just escaped my mind just that quickly. So apparently, I need to keep like a little notebook or something while discussion is happening. But yeah,
Why you say that?
because whatever it was, I thought I was going to remember, but then you said something else that made me forget because it was like a
Mm.
follow up question to something you said, but
Oh,
I've already forgotten what it is.
see, getting old.
I know, and it's inevitable, I guess, and it's one of those things I'm also learning. Just the older you get, there's less things you kind of retain and hold on to and remember. And I'm trying to do better at that. That's why I'm trying to play Sudoku every day because I read Quincy Jones play Sudoku every day. It keeps his brain
Mhm.
sharp. So I try to do that. And then I get a little frustrated and like, I can't play this game anymore. And then, but then I come back to it later. So there's that. But,
Yeah.
do you play Sudoku at all?
I don't. I started at one point years and years ago, but it just me and Sudoku. It's more frustrating than challenging in a good way to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of we parted ways amicably.
Well, I
Yeah.
need those sometimes to break up some of the monotony, or maybe during commercial breaks if I'm watching TV or something, because I guess I need to be stimulated at all times. Like I'm bored now, I need something else to do. But no, but me bored? I think we talked about that before, where we don't really know what that is, being bored. But
Right. Right.
Yes, I remember now. With the traveling and whatnot. I remember years and years ago. I'm hoping you remember too, about a commercial for the Navy, and Keith David gets on and is like, if someone, oh, well, I was going to do a Keith David impression, but
You
it sounded
should've.
like my
Do
regular
it.
voice.
Do it. Do
I'm
it.
already at a very low register. Oh,
It's not my problem.
I know. If oh, what was the question now? Sorry, Keith David. Hold on a second.
Jeez, get it together.
I know. If someone wrote a book about your life, would anybody want to read it? That was a horrible Keith David impression, but
It's a pretty
'cause
good
I'm-
one, you know.
I mean, because I'm kind of smiling just thinking about it. But man, that would be quite a guy to talk to. Anyway, but his question was, if anybody wrote a book about your life, would anybody want to read it? And I've always had the answer is like, well, it depends on who wrote it, basically.
Ooh, there you go. Plot twist.
Yeah.
Literally, haha.
Exactly. So therefore, I would say yes. I would say people would want to read
Mm.
a book about my life. And basically, he's still trying to sell you into joining the Navy, which is not what I
Sure.
want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I did have recruiters call me and try to really talk me into joining the Navy, and I'm like,
Mhm.
well, at the time in my life, I was thinking about going to like culinary school or even journalism, and they're like, oh yeah, you could do that at the Navy. We've got, you know, things set up. We've got like places you can cook, or, you know, if you want to do such and such. Basically, they were just trying to get me in, and I was not having it. So needless to say, I did not join the Navy, but I still salute the people that do and fight for our country on land, sea, and air, and
Everywhere else.
everywhere else. Yes,
Yeah,
space,
Jinx.
time. For the time
Yeah.
fighters out there, I salute you. I will salute you. I have saluted you.
And that's probably going to be their motto. Like, if we ever because I feel like the Tom fighters are, I feel like they're the secret ops, the secret, you know, co-ops of whatever, like the troops or whatever. And so I feel like if we were to ever discover who they were
Mhm.
and they were ever to become mainstream, that would be their motto. We salute you. We have saluted you. We will salute you.
Right.
Right?
Right. And
That's perfect.
they've fought for us. They will fight for us, and they're probably currently fighting for us. And they're probably an establishment like the MIB. There's just whatever their initials are. Like the MIB, they fight aliens, time fighters. They'll, you know, fight things, anachronisms, which is a number of shows like what is the name of that show people love? I started with first season, but I haven't been watching it. Clock Stoppers, I think. Nope. Timeless is what it's called.
Okay.
I think it's Clock Blockers that their hashtag that they like to use. So I think that's what it is. But either way, they're time fighters. They go through time trying to fix things, but then they sometimes make things worse, which I kind of like. Like, hey, they kind of actually screwed up time a little more. So awesome. I don't know exactly what timeline they live in, but I'm with it. And I salute them and will continue to salute them and have saluted them. So yes.
Nice.
Would you want to be a time fighter if that
Totally. Yeah. If I was going to fight anything, it would be Tom. I don't know what that all entails, but I'm definitely interested. So yeah, for sure. Sign me up.
I mean, would you fight time, or are you going to try to like fix something in time?
You know, either or. I feel like it's all inclusive. If you have the power to manipulate time itself, then yeah, sign me up. I'm down. Yeah.
Which does go back to a question I was going to ask in the last episode, which, yes, by the way, that was a lot of fun. The live episode.
It was.
I was going to ask everybody what Infinity Stone.
What time is it?
It's in time for it and do live. Yes. I'll work on that. I'll workshop that. So it'd be a call and response. So when we do the live episode, then I can say, what time is it? And then everybody has what they say, what time it actually is. It's 8:30. I'm like, okay, thank you. Good job. Paying attention. But yes, what Infinity Stone they wanted. I had pre-asked you this, I think way back in Baltimore, and you probably already said the time stone. Like I even had to guess.
I know, right?
Yeah. In fact, we probably would fight over it because I'm not sure if I wanted the other ones.
I mean, the other one, all of them are pretty awesome on their own, but I guess you just kind of have to look at whatever ones you're just more interested in, more attracted to, and go with that, I guess. You know?
I guess. Maybe we can share it. I'll have it
I don't want to
today.
share it.
No. Let's hear me out. I'll have it today. Then tomorrow comes, you rewind time, and then you have it today, and then give it back, and then rewind time, and I'll have it again today. See? Yes, maybe.
Let's workshop it. Let's continue to workshop it and go from there.
All right, we'll do that tomorrow with the time stone. But I have to look at the other ones to see what they do, because the power one just looks like you just kind of just beat stuff up like really strongly. So I don't know about that. And it could hurt you if it's just one. Like if you can handle it, you need like a whole group of people, like in the first Guardians movie, jumping all over the place. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, I do have a little bit of Sheboygan news, which actually might not be exactly Sheboygan, but it is Sheboygan. I misspoke. It's Sheboygan, but it's not necessarily news, but it's entertaining. I also have a word for the Word Watch, which I have not practiced trying to say, but I have my phone will say it for me. So all of that and much more when we return to the Indu Podcast.
The Indu Podcast.
Shannon, CG, Lauren, and Mel form the Nerds of Prey. A group of ladies bonded by comics, gaming, film, television, and fandom culture. Hang out with them bi-weekly as they dig into the very things that make them loud and proud nerds. Available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. Also, check out their Patreon at patreon.com/Nerds of Prey.
Hey there, do you like talking about your favorite comic book and characters? Or a TV series you love to binge? Or how Goku from Dragon Ball Z was trash, but it was still your gateway anime? But you're also interested in talking about different social issues and current events, like representation, Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement, or racism? Well then, you're in luck. I've got a podcast where we dive into all of that. It's called Speak On It. I'm your host, Nisha, a millennial that's just trying to live my black and nerdy life while also staying informed. So every episode, a guest and I will dive into a discussion that can cover everything from anime to activism and Speak On It. You can head over to iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever else these RSS feeds go to subscribe, listen, and stay tuned. Talk to you soon.
And welcome back to the Indu Podcast.
Okay.
I had to keep you on your toes.
Crazy.
I knew you weren't ready, so
I was not ready for that.
You were not ready.
No, I wasn't.
By the way, did I tell you that this podcast is brought to you by myfluffypuffs.com?
What? No, you didn't tell me that. Tell me about them.
Myfluffypuffs.com has got all the products that you need for your hair and skin, and just to feel vibrant and beautiful and smooth and twisty like me sometimes. Well, I mean, if you're going to put twist in your hair like I do, because I use the frosting or twist frosting that I put in my hair. And I actually just ordered the red citrus body bar, which you can also use in your hair. So I don't have a review for you yet because it has not arrived yet. So
gotcha.
When it does arrive, I'm hearing great things about it. I hear it's a great soap to use in the morning. It's really zesty and wakes you up. So I'll be sure to let you know, because I do have issues waking up in the morning. So maybe I should have the bar right next to my pillow, and then I wake up, give it a smell, and woo, I feel refreshed already. Maybe I should actually put it on my skin. So But yeah, myfluffypuffs.com. I know the name sounds weird because I know I told it to my parents and my family, and like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's what it's called because your hair can be fluffy and puffy. So
Exactly.
go to myfluffypuffs.com, use the order code or the offer code, discount code, whatever you want to call it. When you get all your orders together, use Indoob, INDOOB, and you save 10%. Every little bit helps. And yeah, go put some orders in. That is valid until June 30th. So do put that in and get some, let's see, twist frosting with biotin or red citrus body bar, the lavender luxe body bar, which smells like lavender, but it's not like a girly scent, which what I'm told. I should have got that one too, just to prove to people. But hey, they're doing well. There's still some products that are sold out that I'd love to try. So hopefully those come in. And yeah, myfluffypuffs.com. So go check that out. They're also on Amazon, but I can't help you with any discounts with that. So just saying. So yeah, let me find the word first, because this word caught my attention a while back. Oh wow, this is such a long word. I have to scroll left to right in order to read it.
Word watch.
And it's not even a word, it's more of a name. And it is the the page updated itself, so it jumped.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I stopped.
Sure. Okay.
Let me do the very terrible Keith David voice again. Barganar mark.
Are you okay though? But are you okay? Like, I feel like you're not okay.
I'm gonna have this read it out loud because I'm struggling. Hold on. And now my phone. Oh, there. This should be. Okay, I'm gonna play it again because my volume was down low.
Chargogagog, Manchagogagog, Chabunagungamog.
See, and you thought I was having issues.
So what is this word and where did you get it from?
This is a lake. This is a lake on the border with Connecticut in south central Massachusetts. And it's taken from the Native Americans, like many of the cities and rivers here in New England, who inhabited the area. This name has been spelled many different ways, possibly the longest U.S. place name. Its meaning is subject to debate. So nobody really knows what it means, but Chargogagogman Chagagagaga Chagbaganagagag.
Okay, let him say it again.
Okay, because I lost at the last few syllables.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Chargogagog, Manchagogagog, Chabunagungamog.
See.
Okay, I almost had it. I need to see it, but I think he said Chargogagog, Mengogagog, and then some others. I can't remember. But I was close.
You were. I think
it's a pattern.
It is a pattern, and it almost sounds like it could be a transformer too, but like a Native American transformer.
Sure, absolutely, which we need.
We
totally.
do.
I mean, if we're gonna continue to make Transformer movies, by all means, make it all inclusive, right?
Right. I would watch that. Like it would be like a nature transformer. Like he turns into a tree and then he comes back. And then...
that would be great.
Yeah.
Or like, that would be great.
Or mountain.
Just all the elements combined.
Elements. Yes. There's a river transformer and he's just like water, and then all of a sudden he's like ice, and then I don't know.
But in the form of a car.
Oh, right, because they have to be cars too. That's right. Yes.
They have to be or vehicles.
Some kind of vehicle. Right.
That'd be dope. I would watch that movie.
You know who would be great? We have to contact Lauren Warren, who has been on the podcast before, because she likes the Crash Bang 'em Ups robots. I forgot. She has a really interesting way of describing these in Pacific Rim. It's I love it. But
she would give a much fresher take to the Transformers franchise, which it totally needs it.
Yes, she would.
Yeah, I think she's the perfect man for the job. I think so.
Because there is a Bumblebee movie that I am not interested in watching.
Seriously?
Oh, you didn't hear? Yes, there's a Bumblebee.
Did they announce that on Twitter?
There is a trailer. It exists.
I don't. So there's a whole trailer.
There's a whole trailer.
Oh God, why?
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
understand why, Sterling.
This is how I feel.
I just don't understand why they keep doing this. Like, what
I don't
is
know.
happening?
There's a little bit of hope because they canceled, I think, the 6th Transformers movie that they were making. And I was one that actually was defending them for a while because I didn't care that there wasn't a plot. I just want to see giant robots fight each other. What more do I need? Or what more do you need? I don't really need a story. Why are
A
they
story, like a story, would be nice, even if it's a flimsy one. I'm okay with that. But
Okay.
do some, just try a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So basically just stick to Pacific Rim because
Sure.
I mean there is a bit of a story there. There's some humans involved. They're the ones that actually pilot the giant robots fighting the giant monsters. And I mean I even liked the sequel too. So that was pretty good. There's not much more I could ask for. So
I've got to watch them both. I've never seen either.
I know I wasn't gonna put you on the spot. I knew you didn't see the second one, but I wasn't gonna send. I
didn't see the first one.
I wasn't gonna tell anybody, so that can probably remain our secret, so nobody will know that you didn't see the first one.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like that, you're amazing.
No problem. I mean, that's what I'm here for. Just trying to make you look good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Did you see any of the Transformer movies, by the way?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, okay.
Not yet. I mean, of course, the first ones, like the first 2 or 3, maybe. What are we on now, though? 10? I don't know.
Might as well, but I mean, they canceled the 6th. The 5th one I haven't seen, but it's on Netflix, I think. I think that one's on Netflix.
Really? Seriously?
I think it might be that one, or it might be the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Well, that one definitely is on Netflix.
Yes, I know that. Actually, all the pirate movies, I think, are on Netflix. Yeah.
Are they? I don't know. I know the 5th one is. That's the only one I haven't seen.
The last one is because I started it, but for some reason I did not finish it. But it's there. I know Dead Man's Chest, which is the second one, is there. I don't know about the third one, which is at World's End. I don't know about that one.
And it's the 4th one that I forget exists because I know they have 5. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a 4th one, which is weird.
What's the 4th one? Oh, Fountain of Youth or something, right?
Something like that. I don't know what it's called, but yeah,
it's trash.
That's what they found. Yeah,
it's trash.
Blackbeard, I think, is in it, and Penelope Cruz. I think it's Penelope Cruz. Yeah, it's Penelope
right.
Cruz.
Yeah, because he's Blackbeard's daughter or something, right?
Spoiler alert!
Oh,
I mean, come on now.
So
I forget the movie exists, but I remember that spoiler.
Is that a spoiler?
Well, I mean, if you're planning on watching it,
they're not gonna watch it. It's a terrible movie because nobody even refers to that movie. It's okay.
It's not the worst, but it's worse than most. I'm stealing lines from other things I've listened to. I apologize. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry.
Don't be sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
They're great. They're great catchphrases. That's why I'm using them. So if you don't like it, then you can go purify yourself in the lake of Char Gaga Gog Man Chaga Gog Gog Gog.
That's well, okay. Yeah, it almost sounded, and then you just kept going, and I was like, no, that's not it.
Well, because I was reading it very quickly, and I just kind of skipped over a couple syllables. Like, you know what I'm talking about. You know what lake. Just purify yourself in it instead of the other one. But we're going to skip over to Sheboygan news.
Good morning, Sheboygan.
So today's Sheboygan news is not really necessarily news, but I did find that apparently Sheboygan has an odd police scanner chatter. There's actually a Twitter account called at Sheboygan Scan. So you can hear, like, not hear, but you can read what comes across the scanner. So this website actually culled some of the best ones. So I'm going to read a few of them to you. I don't know how to say that word, so I'm going to skip that one. And I'll tell you this much. Earlier today, I was kind of just scrolling through looking for news, and I was reading them. I happened to be sitting next to my mother. So I was trying to keep in laughter, and I couldn't help it because some of them were just too ridiculous. And she's like, "What are you reading?" I'm like, I can't. It's hard to explain. So let me just read a few of them to you. And basically, they start out with the address because when you make a 911 call, you got to give where you're from. So I'm going to skip that part and just read what came across the scanner, such as man having trouble breathing, has been vomiting blood. So that is just one of them. The first one I read was a woman's arm stuck in recliner. Rotten brats with possible BB guns shooting at cars. Let's see. Disturbance. Caller's roommate refuses to discuss important life's issues. So these are people that's calling 911 for these so-called emergencies. Idiots have bonfire close to garage, are possibly burning mattresses. Man artificial's hip popped out. Two females and dog are being followed by a coyote. So, I mean...
Wait, what? Say that again?
Two females and dog are being followed by a coyote.
Huh. So two female women, I suppose, because you could just say two women.
I'm reading what the scanner says. This is what came across the scanner.
Sure. I'm commenting on the scannee.
Yes. Or the speaker on the scanner.
Do better, sir or ma'am. But
person.
Yes. Do better. Okay, continue.
Okay. Okay, this one was the one, I think one of them that confused me, but large group male teen monsters throwing rocks at large turtle.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it's a group of teen monsters.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
Okay, so this is the one that broke me. Because this is right after. So the fact that you're already broken. I have to try to get through this one.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just I mean, I guess that's better than them, being out on the streets, doing drugs or doing other mischievous things. But why throw the rock at the turtle?
I guess because it's a really big one.
Did you see it on a show and you just wanted to reenact that moment, or?
Well, this call came from a marsh, so that's all it says. Is just marsh - large group male teen monsters throwing rocks at a large turtle.
I thought you were supposed to be objective. No, wait, subjective. Wait, objective? What is it?
I think
you're
it's objective.
You're supposed to not have your opinion in the mix when you're reporting or whatever, right? But I thought you were supposed to be that when you report whatever you see. Calling a group of teen males monsters is very subjective.
It is, but maybe it's the callers. I think that's what it could be. It could be the caller, and they're recording what the caller said.
I see. Got you. Male teen monster. Oh God. Okay, go. I'm ready.
All right. So this is the one. Small child says parents scare her every day when she comes home from school. Okay, listen. So I saw my little nephew today. He's about to be 6 in July, and he loves to scare people, right? So every time I see him, whoever's domicile he's at, he'll hide. And the parentals or the adults of the house will say, "Hey, Courtney. Hey, Coco." That's what they call me. Hey, Coco. And I say, "Hey, so and so. How you doing?" I'm good. I said, "Good. Where's Corbin? My little nephew, my little 6-year-old nephew. Where's Corbin?" "Oh, I don't know. He was here and then he wasn't." I'm like, "Oh no!" And so I start to search around the house or search around the room or whatever, and then he'll just jump out. And inevitably, I know where he is because I know whatever house I'm at. I know the layout anyway, and I can also hear him giggling. But then I always have to act surprised because he's like, "Wow!"
and then he'll just laugh at me. And
Mm.
it's hilarious because he just gets such a kick out of it, and I have to act surprised and scared, and I love it because he gets such a kick out of it. But in this poor child's life, who's calling the authorities and reporting her parents for scaring her every day after coming home from school, I don't see them doing that. Like, I don't see them hiding every day
That's what I do,
and
though.
giggling in like the corner or whatever, the closet or whatever, and jumping out to surprise her. I don't see that happening. So,
But that's what I'm
Sterling,
imagining. That's what I'm imagining.
I was about to say, what do you think is really actually happening in this scenario? Because this poor child, number one, but number two, what's actually going on here?
I don't know. There's just sadistic parents. And it's like, she's coming. She's coming. Hide.
Okay, here she goes. Here she comes. Here she comes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You think that's what's really going on?
Oh, maybe it isn't, but it tickled me so much that I probably almost had to leave the room. But just the thought of it, like, yeah, I mean, I wonder if that's the kind of parent I would be, but not every day. Just maybe once a week.
Because that's just I don't know, mean.
You got to train them. You got to get them to be always ready. Be ready for anything. And and then I will supply them like with the machete or a katana, so they would be ready.
Oh Lord.
Because that's just got to be ready. Yeah, and just one more here. Man has medical problem that you don't want to know about. So yeah.
Okay.
So that just goes to show you that Sheboygan is a very interesting place. And I thought about following the account, but like some of the other calls or the scans that came in, they just seem pretty normal. Just people with regular problems. So I don't know how often I'd come across anything that's worth like, it's like, oh yeah, that's one I got to save. But so I'm thankful for this website for saving them for me. And that's from City Lab. Do regularly. They'll just go and find some of the best scans that come in. But yeah, that brought a tear to my eye as I was just kind of just passing some time and reading the ridiculousness that people would call the cops for.
People, I think, are just bored or something. I don't know.
They're bored, but they're also just like, I don't want to say paranoid, but like, I mean, we've kind of deal with that before, or not before, but we do see that in worst case scenarios, just Black people having barbecues, and it's just a problem. But there's also just people like, hey, there is a strange cat in my yard, and I need someone to deal with it. And then it'd be like, ma'am, 911, or sir, because don't want to judge, or person. That's not what 911 is for. So, I mean, I get it, but there are people. I don't know. I feel like I have neighbors that would do that. I don't want to say any names or point any fingers. Not that anyone can see me, but I feel like they know who they are because I know that they don't own a TV, and I'm pretty sure their heads out the window like all day long when they're home, just watching.
Right, trying to see what's happening.
Yeah, trying to see what's happening, and gonna call like, oh, them people are back again, or there's that cat again. Although she wasn't, or he, them, they weren't there that day when there was these huge buzzards that, I mean, literally, they were like the biggest birds I've seen in the neighborhood ever, like just flying in my yard and looking terrible. And like there must have been some dead thing that they were like looking at, or there was like 3 of them and
waiting to devour.
Yeah, devour or take it, or I don't know. It was ominous to say the least. So me and my mom were just in the window, just watching these creatures of I don't even want to say of the night. It was of the evening, early evening, just flock, and like the wingspan. Just, I mean, I think probably putting 2 of you together, and that's how long that they were. So
I believe it.
Yeah. it was a little frightening. So I'm glad I was in the house because I'm not sure if I like just arrived home and I saw these creatures, I'd probably just stay in the car or just drive away. It's like, you know what? That's it. I don't want to live here anymore. I'm good.
I
These things are
understand.
waiting.
I get it.
Whew. Yeah, that was I was gonna say that was a dark day, but it was literally cloudy and the sun was going down, so it was a dark time. And those, I think there were buzzards, some kind of vultures, something that was not native to this area.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them since. I think they did their job and they left. So yeah. Whew. So wipe the sweat because that triggered some memories of avian life. Oh boy. Well, I think that just about maybe wraps up this episode of let's see, Time Fighters and IHOB and
Oh, can we just call it IHOP? I don't care what they have officially changed their name to with the banks and with the Secretary of States and with whoever they have to change their name to. Listen, you're always going to be IHOP because IHOB is ridiculous. Okay?
it sounds like that somebody beat him up behind an alley, and that's what they're kind of hobbling along now for messing up. They're changing their name.
Yeah, and I'm not for that. I'm not gonna call you IHOB. That's stupid. Psh, get out of here.
Mm. I mean, they have
I'm
verified Twitter
appalled,
accounts
Sterling,
too.
Okay.
They have
They did what?
They have a verified Twitter account of IHOB.
Are you serious? I am offended. I'm appalled. I am verklempt.
Prince did not fade away into the purple majestic for this. I'm saying that right now.
Exactly. He did not. He did not. I'm so sad. And they'll forever be IHOP in my mind. I don't care what they say, what they call themselves, because IHOB with a B as in boy. Get out of here. Go away. You're trash.
Imagine me flipping some letters around to be in dupe. No, not having it.
Okay, but you should probably do it for a day just because you're petty and I'm here for it. Please do it just for today or tomorrow. I will retweet you. I will join in on this foolery. Please do it. Just to be petty.
Just to be petty, because I'm trying to. I mean, I wish that Indube was an acronym for something, so then it would be like whatever. But I'll say I probably could do it for almost all of them. I think I tried doing that before when I was trying to do the I can't even think of the word, an anagram, where you flip things upside down as if Indube would come up as anything, but
no,
not really.
Okay,
it's more of an exclamation point, the letter U, the letter Q, OOP, which doesn't spell anything.
Right.
So I tried, but I'll flip some things around.
Nice.
Just to be petty, because that is the culture that we live. That's 2018, the year of petty. Or petty all the time, but
petty
more so. More so this year than ever, because anything goes. We'll be International House of Burgers.
That's so
shimmy,
stupid.
shimmy. I seriously have that thought. Just like, we're burgers now. Like, get out. Not going back ever again. I mean, it's been months since I've been there, but I'm just not going out of spite. I'm going to Denny's. Forget that.
Ooh, at least go to Waffle. They're kind of problematic too, though.
Yeah, they are. we don't have a Waffle House here anyway.
Anywhere now?
How about Bob Evans? Do you have one of those?
No. Who is a Bob Evans?
They're very rare. We used to have one here, but I don't know where there are any anymore.
That's sad.
It is.
We just can't go anywhere. Like, they just don't love us anymore.
They don't. I mean, Burger King does have pancakes, but you don't really go to Burger King for pancakes.
Now, I can eat McDonald's pancakes, but I have to be really hungry, and they have to be the only restaurant within a 50-mile radius. So that never happens. And like I love McDonald's, just not them. I just don't love McDonald's for their breakfast. So
I mean, I give them points though for having breakfast all day though.
amen for that. But that was a recent development. They just got onto that bandwagon.
They did.
Maybe
And
because they knew about IHOB changing their freaking name.
you know why? Because they have time fighters there, so they knew it was coming.
There you go.
I need Burger King to step that up because I love their French toast sticks, but I can only get them in the morning, and
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
around.
Problematic. Yeah,
It is.
You have to go to work. You have to be an adult. I get it.
Mm-hmm. I seriously thought about that during my hiatus, my time off, but that required me getting out of bed before a certain hour. And like, who stops serving breakfast at 10:30? It's wait until 12, like normal people.
Right. Like most people just don't tend to wake up prior to 12, or they don't get up and moving.
Right. I
And
was awake.
so-
I just wasn't
Yeah,
ready to
you're
leave the
awake.
house.
Right, exactly. So when you are ready to leave the house, nope, no more breakfast. You gotta just automatically switch to lunch because some stupid arbitrary rule about breakfast times. Get out of here. You're trash.
And
Just
you can
make
even
breakfast all day.
exactly. You can even arrive at 10:29. Like, nope, I'm sorry, you missed it. Because they'll be like, you wanted what? You wanted to what again? Oh, I'm sorry, it's 10:30. I'm sorry, you can't now. Because it's just prolonging the time. Yeah, so I do want to give some very quick special shout outs because it has been a long and tiring, rough week for a lot of people, myself included. And I want to thank and give a shout out to Vilissa, to La Black Aesthetic, to Nisha. Most of these have been on the podcast or big fans or supporters. My sister Midori, and a very big special thank you to you, Courtney.
Hey,
for just
that's me.
Yes, for just helping me get through such a long and crazy weekend. So I mean, mental health is a very serious thing. So please check in with your friends and your loved ones to make sure that they are getting through the day, and help them any way that they can, even if it's just to listen, to hear them breathe. So, you know, or send puppy pictures or whatever it takes.
Good songs, whatever.
Good songs, and
Whatever it takes.
Whatever's necessary. We are strong supporters of therapy, so if you need professional help, please go get it. Definitely do that, because there's a lot of craziness and nonsense going on, and people who don't quite understand that it's more than just getting a good night's rest or eating fruit. There's some shenanigans.
Or
I don't know if you saw that. Oh, you did see it. Okay, yes, you did.
I did.
Yes,
I saw it. I saw it.
Yeah. I mean, if you need to take medication, take medication. Do what you got to do.
Yes. Mental health is a thing. It is a real thing. And if you struggle with having poor mental health, like Serling said, there are resources out there. There is help out there. And if you can, do not suffer alone. If you know somebody who is suffering or you feel like they're suffering, reach out to them. Reach out to those resources, and please do what you can to help someone get better, because again, mental health and mental health awareness, they're real things. So please do what you can to save somebody. You never know what the simplest things can do to make someone start to feel better and start to begin their process of recovery. And it's different. It looks different for everyone, and it can be a different process for everyone. And that's okay. That's just like physical illness. So please don't take the warning signs for granted. If you see warning signs, please act on them. Don't look over them. They could literally save a life.
Agreed. And if you are listening, you are not alone. A lot of us kind of go through these things. And the number, just in case you don't know what the number is, if you feel like self-harm, it's 1-800-273-8255. They actually have an online chat too, I think.
And it's actually it's also 1-800-273-TALK. If that helps you remember it better.
That is much
Because-
easier.
Because there are people who want to talk to you, who are trained to talk to you and help you through whatever you're going through. And I mean, it's a 24/7 line, so it doesn't matter when you're going through it. It doesn't matter what you're going through. If it's important to you, it's important. So don't let it pass you by. Act on it, get help, talk to somebody, because there are people out there who want to hear from you.
Exactly. Didn't mean to get really serious after all the fun that we had, because we had a lot of fun. Hopefully this podcast episode helped you, because
Yeah.
we're just silly people anyway. Very tired people too. It's been such a long
It's been a long day.
breaking the wall a little bit. It is a Wednesday. Normally we record on a Tuesday, and already the week it's a long month this week. So yes, which is a t-shirt that is for sale at the Indube store. So
I need that one.
You do need to get that one, or a mug. I think I'd probably get that on a mug, because I can just see myself just. No, what I really want to happen is for other people to see me drinking from a mug that says, "Oh, wow, that's clever. I get that." So it's like, yeah, you should get it, literally. And I give them a card, and that's where they go to buy it. But
Nice.
I think in the coming weeks I'm going to go back to the workshop, this workshop we keep talking about. This time it's the design workshop, and I'm going to start working on some new designs. Because I was inspired today, and I'm only going to give a hint, so I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want people to steal it. But I walked by a sign that says that authorized personnel only. That's your only hint.
That's all you need to know, really.
That's all you need to know, and then just wait a few weeks, and then you'll find a new design, and it's like, oh, that's what he talked about back in episode 76. You talked about something about being authorized. So yeah, that's the only hint you're going to get. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next couple episodes. We've got some special guests and friends, some returning, some new, some fans. July is Listener Appreciation Month, so. Or Fan Appreciation Month. What did we officially say what we're calling it?
I don't think we did. But to me, fans and listeners are the same.
I guess that would be.
I think we kind of alternate, I guess, between fan or listener. But to us, everybody's, equal. You're the same. If you're a listener, you're a fan, and vice versa. So
I say you're a fan if you actually give feedback, or you try to you participate and send questions or things of that nature. So
okay. I mean, listen, either one I'm good with. If you listen, I feel like you're a supporter in some way. If you're a fan, and you offer active feedback, you're a supporter. So I feel like if you support the Indube podcast or the Indube network, then you should be appreciated.
I agree. I will go with that. And I definitely do. I appreciate all listeners, all fans, even if you just retweet or just send out links like, oh, go listen to this. Even if
everything helps.
And with that, I will also throw in really quick again the Patreon. And I actually do have 2 Patreon posts I have not even been close to publishing, because I did go to the movies recently. I saw Hotel Artemis and I saw Ocean's 8. How did I feel about them? You'll find out. One of them, I will say, I liked a lot more than the other one. And I mean, basically, I'll just say this. One of the movies, just wait until it comes like on streaming sometime. Watch it then. Yeah. The other one, I enjoyed it, and I'm biased. And you probably already know what I'm talking about, because I've gave you a hint already earlier in this episode.
I picked up on it. I sure did. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, definitely go check out that. Support if you can. Most of the posts will be about $1, so not too much. Not going to break your bank unless your piggy bank only has $2 in it, and you need one of those dollars for a sandwich. So
I understand that. Yeah.
Yes. Times are hard.
You gotta eat, man.
You do. Even if it's a terrible turkey sandwich. I saw your message tweet, Tito, about your Tito Jenkins, your sad sandwich. So there you go. Tito is a very interesting individual. He keeps getting shout outs on all these podcasts.
I don't know why. I love you, Tito.
That was great. Anyway, any final shout outs and plugs and things you have for the kind of people?
Totally. If you want to chat with me or talk with me or see what I'm tweeting about, you can check me over on Twitter. My handle is @IamKHinton, where I tweet from everything from the weather to art to activism and current events sometimes, And so just be sure to follow me, give me a shout. We'll debate. I'm down for that. You can also find me over at VerveHC, which is the Twitter headquarters of Verve House Collective. Verve House Collective is the place for audacious entrepreneurs.
That's right.
Intention seekers and creatives. So if you fall anywhere in those categories or anywhere on those spectrums, then that's the place for you to be.
All right. I've never seen you tweet any tweets about no weather.
I tweet every now and then, but it's mostly about local weather. So if you're not interested in Arkansas-based weather, you may not be interested in that. But you can find everything else that I mentioned too, like activism and what else? What else did I say? Art. I tweet about that. And local and national and international creatives. I tweet about their art and what they're doing. So, but yeah, I've tweeted about the weather before. Not recently because not much has happened. At least in my opinion, not much has happened. We kind of skipped spring, so we jumped from winter to summer basically, and that's abnormal, but it's normal at the same time for Arkansas. So I don't know. That's not tweet worthy to me. But
yeah, and you got tornadoes like every other day, so it's like normal for you. But like, what?
That's not exactly accurate, listeners, but there's some truth to it.
I mean, I was there, and there was a tornado warning, and everybody was like, "Yeah, whatever, just keep eating." Yeah, and like nobody batted an eye. It's just like, "Oh, I forgot my umbrella in the car." I'm like, "But there's a tornado warning outside." And
yeah. They happen. Fortunately, we've had a pretty tame tornado season, so I'm very grateful for that.
Got those tornadoes whipped in shape.
Yeah, something like that.
Rather than here, I mean, there's still like I guess FEMA people that's supposed to be coming out to investigate tornadoes that happened like 3 weeks ago. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if I told you, but it was confirmed that we had tornadoes here in Connecticut.
Yeah, you did. You told me.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, follow. I'm just saying. I not that I stalk your Twitter page, but I just don't remember seeing any weather related. I'm gonna go.
You don't pay enough attention because you barely follow me. But whatever. I'm not offended by it. It's okay.
You see the way my Twitter account's set up. I just go on and just make some tweets that I see a couple here and there. Twitter's algorithm, they'll it's like, this is what you missed. So I might respond to those, and then I go back to tweeting nonsense. But I
really don't want to hear it though, because I feel like you're just lying to me. So
it's actual truth. This is how I start my mornings. I'll read it like a newspaper. I'm like, oh, let's see what I missed today. It's on the trending topics. There's a raccoon on a wall. Okay, great. That's wonderful.
How did we not talk about that?
I don't know, but it came up on the news, and my mom was like, really? I'm like, yes, it was trending all day. So
right.
I forgot what
ridiculous, but great at the same time.
it was. It's the kind of distraction that I live for. So
right.
Trash pandas on the wall. But yeah, follow me on all things Ndoob for nonsense and me ignoring Courtney apparently on Twitter. So go to ndoob.com to find the Patreon to subscribe for more perks. Find my TeePublic store to get t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more. Please rate, comment, share the pod on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you so much for supporting, listening, stopping by, and pressing play. Tell someone you value that you value them, and live for the folks you love. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson, and remember, If the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off. The Indube Podcast is recorded in a studio somewhere on planet Earth. The Indube Podcast is part of the Indube Network, and if you'd like to get in contact with the Indube Podcast, please email indubepod@gmail.com. That is indubepod@gmail.com. You can find the Indube Podcast on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course Podbean, or wherever podcasts may be procured. If you'd like to find out more information, please visit indube.com, where you can find our store, the blog, and of course our Patreon if you'd like to support and donate and find more perks and fun things to listen to and watch. For Chief, DJ Joe Daddy, Bilford, this is T. Sterling Watson signing off. Thank you so much for listening.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production.